Welcome! Happy Thursday. And on Thursday, as we all know here, what happens on the From the Bleachers Sports Show, we bring you another edition of Cleanpin, where we talk, we go back and forth. Well, we really don't go back and forth. You listen to me talk about sports, about wrestling news and, thoughts and, concerns, opinions, and that's exactly what we do here. It is opinions. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's that's what we do here. Opinion. Everyone is right, and you're welcome to leave some comments down below if you want to. If not, that's fine. And I think the common theme here, as we do this these vidcasts here from the car, the common theme is that a lot of people in New York do not know how to drive, and that it just continues to be of relevance as we move forward here. A lot of news from wrestling in the past week. That I would want to get into. The first, and as you, in case you do not know here, we do not do a review, we just go over certain points and bullets and things like that. But from a Monday Night Raw, we seen that Brock Lesnar comes out, completely buries the completely buries the remaining roster. I know it's and all their all their competitors, saying that there is really no one to challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. So what Brock Lesnar is going to do is he's going to enter into the Royal Rumble. And not only is he going to enter into the Royal Rumble, he will be number one. He'll be entering number one in the Royal Rumble. And a lot of wrestling fans were up in arms about this, as is usually the case when it comes to Brock Lesnar. First of all, saying that Brock Lesnar never appears, it's barely on TV. Well, don't blame Brock Lesnar, blame the WWE for giving out a contract. Brock Lesnar is being paid a crap load of money on this contract that he was given. Okay, what do you think? Brock Lesnar's gonna go appear more on TV and be like, hey, this one's on me, Vince, this one's on me. No. So listen, fact is, everyone in the wrestling community acts like they're sick and tired of Brock Lesnar. Well, fact is, Brock Lesnar right now, to me anyway, is the most credible thing that's on a WWE TV. Anyway, point being, Royal Rumble, they think that a lot of fans are speculating that what will happen with Brock at the Royal Rumble at number one. Everyone's thinking that the whole point of the Royal Rumble is to the winner gets a shot at the championship. Everyone is expecting that Brock Lesnar will just show up at number one, completely destroy everyone, and win the whole Royal Rumble. I don't think that is the case. I think what will happen is you're putting in Brock number one, because quite honestly, the motor in the jet, the motor in the plane is still running for Brock Lesnar. He pays by the hour. He wants to get in and out of the Royal Rumble as quickly as possible, do his couple of minutes and exit. Now, ultimately, what I think will happen is Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble, is it will set up some type of storyline that will go from Royal Rumble, lead into WrestleMania. Because if you think about it right now, there is no storyline for Brock Lesnar as far as an opponent. So what? Even if Brock Lesnar was at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but not actually fought in the over-the-top Battle Royal, who would you put him up against with relatively no storyline built? So I think, there you enter, Brock Lesnar to set up some type of altercation to begin to plant the seeds for WrestleMania and who he will face against WrestleMania. I could also, see it being as maybe set up some type of special match before WrestleMania and not be necessarily the main event for WrestleMania. Like I could see, for example, a Cain Velasquez come in there, interfere with Brock Lesnar, cost him to be eliminated, and then that sets up a special match for one time and done type of a deal. Now, Drew McIntyre, speaking of which, last couple of weeks, Drew McIntyre, this obviously we're just touching on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre, man, he has turned it up a notch here or two the last couple of weeks. He actually seems to be, he actually is showing some type of personality, right? He is trying to do some type of some type of charisma. He's going back and forth with the fans. Dare I say, maybe even Drew McIntyre is this, this tweener type of a character, right? Placating to the fans. Doing what the fans want. Going back and forth with the fans. Maybe. And I think this is, to me anyway, what Drew McIntyre has. That's what he's always been missing. Some type of connection to the fans. Well, herein lies maybe where Drew McIntyre has finally figured it out. And here begins the connection with the fans. And being maybe like some type of, not a face, but, a tweener. A tweener. I'll tell you what. If that is the case, and Drew McIntyre has finally made that connection with the fans, where people, let's be honest, sometimes when Drew McIntyre comes out, people are indifferent. They really don't care which way or another if he's coming or going. I think if I were to go out on a limb here, I can very well see Drew McIntyre facing a Brock Lesnar at a WrestleMania. I'll tell you what, the size and the build of Drew McIntyre is believable. It's definitely believable where he could stand toe-to-toe in a fight with him. And I know WWE has been trying to change the perception of, little man versus big man. We've seen some matches where Brock Lesnar going up against smaller caliber, you might argue those are probably one of, maybe he's actually does better in those matches against little guys. But overall, you stand someone next to Brock Lesnar, it's very hard to suspend disbelief and think that said person has a chance against a Brock Lesnar. Well, Drew McIntyre could very well, stand a chance against Brock Lesnar. Now, people are saying, Bobby Lashley against Brock Lesnar. A matchup that everyone wants to see. I don't think that matchup will mesh well together. It has disaster written all over it. And going back to, just Brock Lesnar here, just to finish up this point, Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Brock Lesnar coming in at number one. Also, guys, he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, so don't fear that. When's the last time you seen Brock Lesnar do an hour-long match? That's not his thing, doing hour-long matches. It's not a good look for him. I don't know if he is even able to do hour-long matches. So therefore I don't think you have that to worry about, folks. Now, speaking of which, from that Raw as well, No Way Jose, when the fans was chanting, for Drew McIntyre to continue doing that to do a Claymore kick to No Way Jose. Well, guys, we might be at the stage where maybe it's time for No Way Jose to kind of, go back to the drawing board and start something new, because when you have the fans turn on you like that, it's not good. The guy is, he's not like he's built pretty good, big tall guy, 6'5", probably, young guy. I wouldn't give up on him right away that quickly. Maybe going back to the drawing board, reinvent the wheel, it never helps. But I don't think No Way Jose, especially when the fans really do not care about your happy-go-lucky character, it might be time to go back to the drawing board. Coming out of WWE backstage, there was also some hoopla and some buzz, so to speak. Well, Mike the Miz wrote something to the effect of, him being on WWE backstage, and I forget what the exact quote was. Did he change the culture, or was his appearance the one that changed the culture? And kind of taking like a shot at CM Punk, in the sense of, CM Punk. I think CM Punk said, when he was announced for WWE backstage, that he's going to change the culture, change everything. And, the ratings are not going through the roof or anything like that. So, was that a dig by Miz at CM Punk? Who knows? I think it was all fun and cheek. But, CM Punk replies, he says, to an extent, paraphrasing here, go suck a bloody D from a bloody Saudi Arabia D. To that extent, you dork. That's how he ends it. I mean, listen. Taking a shot and if you feel offended, CM Punk felt offended, what is he going to do? Not say anything at all, pretend, Miz didn't say anything? Was it done in tongue-in-cheek? Are they really, really buddy-buddy backstage? Who knows? No one knows. Were they just clowning around with each other on Twitter? No one knows. No one knows. It just seems to me, if I could put my, 2 cents. Well, first of all, Mike the Miz, whether you like him or you don't, you gotta give the guy his props. Like he said, on WWE backstage, people thought that he would be gone in 3 weeks. A matter of time. 3 weeks and he's gone. This kid won't last. Coming from the real world over to the WWE. This clown won't last. He's a clown. He won't last. Well, long and behold, he had lasted now, over 10 years? If not more. Guy barely gets injured. And for what it's worth, he has also main evented WrestleMania. You can't knock the guy. You can't knock him in his achievements. Now again, sometimes to me, it just comes across where, CM Punk, that's the way it looks like, where CM Punk is able to take shots at someone, but as soon as someone takes shots at CM Punk, he seems to be all hot and bothered and steaming at 10. A boiling red. I don't know. Sometimes he seems like he's, a little grouchy, for lack of a better word. But again, what do I know? It's Twitter. It's type. He didn't say, how was the context that he would have said it to him in person? Yada, yada, yada. Story, non-story. There you go. Paige posted something on Twitter, and the rumor mill has gone rampant, speculating, people thinking that that she's gotten cleared and she's working her way back to being in a WWE ring. Paige, she was, red hot there for a short period of time. Really caught fire, kind of rejuiced the women's division back then. But again, was, very... Remember, she's young, but she's been wrestling for quite some time. Even overseas there, because her family is a wrestling family, so she's been wrestling for quite some time, even though she's young. So she already has a lot of miles. If I could equate it to, sometimes you have this, young prospect, like let's say Tua from college football. This prospect was, some polls at one point, projected to go number one, and has since then, in the course of 3 years, had 2 major injuries, and he keeps coming back. You wonder, you question to yourself, is it really worth it? Are you truly at 100%? Will you ever be at 100%? Now, I'm sure you could get medically cleared, but I think medically cleared and being at 100%, there's always, it's 2 different things. And after having, those type of serious injuries, are you going to be able to wrestle where there are life-changing injuries? Are you going to be able to wrestle and keep whatever those injuries you had in the back of your mind from popping up and bothering you again? Are you going to be able to wrestle with a clear mind, clear conscience? That's what you wonder about. But honestly, if I was Paige, she's been out of the ring, for maybe a year or 2. Heck, if you have the thumbs up, great. But being that she's so young, still relatively speaking, why not just continue to chill out, hang out, another year or 2 or 3, and then make your comeback when you've been out of the ring for quite some time, just to get that extra rest. But then again, can you ever really be at 100% from an injury like that she has suffered? I'm no doctor, and it's, it's really tough to say. Tough situation. Same thing goes for Edge. Wrote a rumor mill keeps on circulating about Edge, and they're pretty much all points and all speculation are saying that Edge will be returning at Royal Rumble. And not only will he be returning, he will be returning at a schedule where it won't be a one match and off. It will be a match that's kind of similar to, what a contract you have, essentially kind of similar to what Brock Lesnar does, a limited amount of days. The Edge rumors as well. It's... Now, Paige is one thing, still younger, maybe your body heals better being younger, but now you're at, mid-40s at this point. Bones are not as strong as they used to be. Listen, your body changes, even after 30, after 40. Look at us, those approaching. Look at us do the 10-year challenge from 30 to 40. I bet you we look pretty differently. We're getting a little bit of rounder stomachs. With an Edge thing, and it was even mentioned on, like Busted Open with Tommy Dreamer there, where he doesn't, personally think, and he's his friend, close friend, real life friend, where he doesn't think that Edge will be returning back. And Edge has denied it up and down, and no, every time these rumors still speculate, still pop up. Part of the reason why people are saying that Edge is coming back is because, Randy Orton made mention of Edge in a promo on Raw a couple weeks ago. Name dropped his name, and that they're planting the seeds. Interesting, and you can't say that it's not. It is interesting, but and you've seen how this guy does look. He looks, in great shape, in very great shape. But sometimes it's best to maybe keep the memories of your superstars how you once remembered them. Listen, I mean, I'm sure if he were to return, it's not where he's going to go out there and embarrass himself. Definitely not. But really, at this point, what do you got left to prove? Makes you wonder, though, either which way. Maybe is that why he left the E&C pod of Awesomeness to kind of work out and concentrate full-time on making a comeback? You never know, right? Never know. If Edge were to come back, I personally, if it were to happen, I agree with what I heard with Busted Open, that if he were to come back, it can't be the Royal Rumble, because when you, it's almost like when he enters the Royal Rumble after being gone for so long, it's like he almost has to win it, so you can't really do that. So I don't see him being in the actual Royal Rumble, maybe a one-on-one, but again, I still really cannot see it happening for Edge. I just 45, dad life, and I don't know, I just cannot see it happening. We have on NXT, we had the debut of Robert Stone, formerly known as Robbie E. I like that. I like Robert Stone finally making his appearance on NXT. I like it. Reminds me a little bit of Harvey E-esque. Just kidding, this guy is good on the microphone. I like that actual Robbie E character. Compare Robbie E to Zack Ryder. I actually like the Robbie E character better than Zack Ryder. I like that character better. Robert Stone, made his NXT debut. I would want to see him wrestle, not so much manage. I want to see him wrestle. I think he has some, he's decent in the ring, so I would want to see that. But it's good to, but heck, listen, if he makes his way as a manager, we all know that I think one thing that this business is missing is, a good managers, and like Weasley managers, like your Harvey Whippleman or your snarky or your legendary Bobby the Brain Heenan type of managers. I think wrestling, that's something that wrestling needs is managers. And, he's a guy that could actually cut a promo, which would be a plus as well. Seth Rollins now is being nicknamed the Messiah, the Savior, Seth Rollins. Makes sense if you've been listening to his promos as to why he would be called the Messiah. And that's the beauty of being a heel, of being a good heel, is what you are saying has some truth to it. It has some validity to it, a little bit of exaggeration, but it has truth to it. And that's exactly, what was the case, with, Seth Rollins, the Messiah. He tried to save Monday Night Raw. People turned his back on him. Who will follow him next? Messiah. What will, now that we have this new nickname, because God knows we need to sell some more Messiah shirts, how will this character evolve? Will it be like where it eventually turns into, where Seth Rollins turns into a kind of a cult-like figure, where he's trying to save everyone, where he's trying to save these wrestlers from themselves, trying to stop them from going down the wrong path and trying to appease the fans? He's going to try to turn them, error of their ways and follow whatever Seth Rollins has to say. Will it be like a cult-like type of, how will this character evolve? Will it evolve kind of to the degree, the Messiah of CM Punk? Remember when he was the voice of the voiceless, with the straight edge? Will it evolve kind of similar to the Straight Edge Society and Seth Rollins, the Messiah? Interesting. A lot of different ways that this name, or where these fruits are being started from, how they could grow and evolve, and how could they, what will it lead to next? Because Seth Rollins, he definitely, I think, in my humble opinion, needed a little bit of a change, kind of a fresh start, and there's nothing wrong with a fresh start. Hulk Hogan, has been active on social media, and has his look changed. He has a full beard now. Just had some type of back surgery not too long ago. Is recovering from that, and is saying that he wants to have one last WrestleMania match, and his I believe his ideal opponent would have been Vince McMahon. First of all, Vince McMahon is pushing 70. I don't think you will ever see Vince McMahon in a ring taking bumps again. And Hulk Hogan is damn well pushing close to 70 himself. What, high 60s at this point. Just got off of a major surgery. I mean, I've seen some of the video that he's been posting. A guy looks better than most 60-year-olds. That's for sure. But, you know, to be in the ring again at this day and age, and I get it. His last match was in TNA. He's always been kind of WWE's where he started from. That's his roots. I get why he wants to have his last match at WWE, maybe because it's being seen at a grander scale. But really, what can you... You know, I guess... I just don't see how he could get cleared, first of all. But I guess on a stage where, you know, if it's done right, where there's really not, you know, wrestling per se, you know, it could be, you know, some, you know, back and forth, let's say, with an opponent, whoever you choose that to be. Back and forth with an opponent. You know, the guy comes in, Hulk Hogan's opponent, saying, you know what, Hogan, you've been in this, you are 65 years old, you're a fossil, you're an old guy, yada, 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 time to retire you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Guy starts putting the boots to him, nothing big, you know, nothing serious. And then all of a sudden, you know, Hogan takes his, trips the guy up as he's being kicked, sweeps his legs from under him somehow. The guy's knocked for a loop. And then Hulk Hogan starts to come back, starts hulking up, and then just does one leg drop, and that's it. Boom. Hulk Hogan gets his moment. Talon gets his moment. Elevates him, takes him to the next step. Hey, why not have that be Elias, right? Elias, that will, I think, will help him get to the next level. Everything that he's doing is just right. It's just that this guy can't get any matches. So that's it for this edition. I hope all is well, guys. Look forward to speaking to you guys in the next edition of Cleanpin. Hope all is well. Ciao.